The Jimmy Butler saga is now over. He has been traded to the Warriors after he's demanded to be traded for the past month, after he's skipped out on practices, after he's walked out on his team. You name it. He's done a lot of things to get himself traded away from the Heat. He just didn't want to be there anymore at all. Apparently, he just felt like they were the worst team ever. I guess they made some promises that they didn't keep, and he was ready to go. And I blame him, honestly. Like, you're an NBA player, dog. You making $50 million a year, and you act like you can't play basketball. Like, what the fuck is up with these new age basketball players, man? They so soft and weak. Like, get your ass on the court and play. Like, what are you doing? Skipping out on practices, not flying with the team to play against other teams. You doing your own thing. You flying private. You not taking coaching. You just doing what you want to do on the court. Man, I'm glad this shit is over with, man, because this honestly pisses me off, dog. I can't even lie. Like, Jimmy Butler is a lame ass nigga, bro. He be putting color braids in his hair and shit. Like, this dude be having pink and light green and red braids and shit. Like, what's wrong with you, man? I still won't forget that press conference he showed up looking emo and shit. Like, hair all flat ironed and, like, bro, be a fucking man. You have children, dog. Like, you have children to take care of. You pay a lot of child support, my guy. I mean, a whole lot. Get your ass on the court and play basketball, dog. Talking about you want your joy back of playing basketball. Bitch, it's a lot of players that aren't happy in their situation, happy with the team they playing with, but they show up, they be professionals, and they play the fucking game. What are you doing? Getting paid way too much for this bullshit. Anyway, y'all, let's get into this article. Jimmy Butler trade. Heat sending disgruntled star to the Warriors after trade man suspensions. Jimmy Butler has once again found a new NBA team with the bridge casually burned behind him. The Miami Heat granted their disgruntled star's trade request on Wednesday, finalizing a deal to send him to the Golden State Warriors, according to ESPN Shams Charania. The deal will reportedly cost the Warriors Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Anderson, Lindley Waters III, and a protected first-round pick. Like I said, man, Jimmy Butler a lame motherfucker, bro. But he got what he wanted. Pat Riley, he was tired of just dealing with this shit with him as a player, man. He was honestly messing up the Heat's franchise. He was doing a lot of things to detriment the team. He didn't want to help the team win. He didn't want to help them win on the court. He was distracting them off the court. I think they made the right decision, man. Get rid of this motherfucker, bro. I know they didn't want to give him what they wanted to, but at the end of the day, you got to make your team better. If you could get a player in there that's going to produce, that's going to listen, that's going to take coaching, that's going to fly with the team, that's going to be devoted to winning with your team, you'll take that over a weird motherfucker that just want to do what he want to do, don't want to play hard, don't want to play for your team anymore, all because of some behind the scenes stuff, or you didn't want to give him an extension or something like that. Like, I don't get it, man. Oh, well, bro. They're still paying you a lot of fucking money. Play out your contract and do what you do afterwards. These guys think they could just stop playing basketball in the middle of a season and just run wild and do what they want to do. That shit is not cool, man. Like, this shit wasn't happening in 2005 and 2010 when basketball was at its best. Basketball has been terrible, man. The NBA has been ass. I cannot lie. 2025, these NBA players just are spoiled, bro. It seems like they just want to do what they want to do. They don't really love the fucking game. And that pisses me off, dog. Like, it really does. But anyway, Jimmy Butler has agreed to a 2-year, $121 million extension to stay in Golden State through the 2026 through 2027 season. Butler subsequently provided his own confirmation via musical tweet. That's what I'm saying. This man is corny as hell. Like, look at this. Welcome to the wild, wild west. Like, are you serious? I'm not even finna play this, bro. Like, this guy is a fucking lame, dog. I know one person that is happy is Steph Curry. He's been running around with G League players all season to get another all-star type player on the roster to help him dig out of this Warriors hole that he's in with Draymond being hurt most of the year. I feel like he's going to be extremely happy about this, and I can't blame him. But at the same time, man, Jimmy Butler is just whack to me, dog. This guy, I was a fan of Jimmy Butler when he was in Chicago doing this thing, when he was a young pup with D Rose and they was doing their thing, man. I was a big fan of Jimmy Butler then. But it's just like over the years, he's just become a diva, it seems like. And I can't stand divas, dog. And the NBA is full of them, if I'm being honest, man. Like, they got to get their shit together, man. Adam Silver got to do something about this. These guys just seem like whenever they're unhappy, they could just switch teams, go somewhere else, and then a few years later, they're going to be unhappy in that situation. They're going to want to switch teams and go somewhere else again. Like, this guy was in Minnesota, didn't want to be there no more. Philly didn't want to be there no more. Then he was happy in Miami for a few years, and now all of a sudden he just couldn't stand the sight of Miami. Like that's not one of the best places in the world to live and play basketball. Like he just was dreading it every single day. That shit makes zero sense to me, man. Doesn't matter if they promised you an extension, dog. You got to play out your contract. Period. Point blank. Period, man. You got to be a professional. Who the fuck does this weird shit, man? Like, don't fly with the team. Just saying all type of bad things in interviews about the team. It's just not cool to me, dog. Like, I feel like this shit is lame as hell. Like, I'm not feeling it. Jimmy Butler was apparently the Warriors' second choice, as it was reported earlier Wednesday, with that Golden State, while interested in a reunion with Kevin Durant, the current Phoenix Suns star, was not. So yeah, they wanted to get KD. They pushed hard for KD. I seen a lot of reports on that. But KD pretty much said, no, I'm not interested in joining the Warriors again. And I felt like him and Steph could have did something. You know what I'm saying? They probably wouldn't have won a championship if we keeping it 100. But he has to get off that Phoenix Suns roster, man. It's not working. Him, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker, that team is just ass. Like, keeping it 100, bro. They're not good. And I feel like KD, if he would have went to the Warriors, it would have been cool. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't have been like the first time where they already was the best team in basketball, and then you join them, and now they're just OD. No, it wouldn't have been like that. Now it would have been a different story. If him and Steph were able to win a chip with just them two and an old Draymond, you going to have to do nothing but put some respect on their name. And legacy, that's a legacy championship if they were able to do it like Steph was able to do a couple years ago, able to carry his team to a ring without much talent around him, man. So KD wasn't feeling it, though. I understand where he's coming from. He was talking about getting traded to the Heat or something. Like, if he doesn't go to the Heat, then he wants to stay with the Suns. But it's like, I don't know, man. Jimmy Butler is a clown, though. Like, if I'm keeping it 100. And KD, he has to get off that Phoenix Suns roster. This will be Butler's fifth team, and he has yet to leave one cleanly. Though it's not like he hasn't been vindicated with time. He was traded from the Chicago Bulls after clashing with head coach Fred Hoiberg and questioning his teammates' motivation. He was traded from the Minnesota Timberwolves after similar clashes with Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. He jumped to the Miami Heat after the 76ers chose Tobias Harris over him. Like I said, y'all, every team he goes to, it seems like he can't be happy, man. I don't know what it is. Like, if you're really that guy, no one's going to clash with you this much. No head coach is going to go back and forth with you if you're really the number one dude. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like he's not that guy that he thinks he is. He's not the player that he thinks he is. He's a great player, don't get me wrong, but you're not that guy. Like, we're going to keep it 100, bro. You're not top 10, maybe not even top 20 players in the league. So how are you demanding all this from teams and wanting things to go your way when you're not even the main guy. You might be the main guy on that team, but you're not one of the main. You're not making first, second team All NBAs. You're not going to All-Star games. Like, come on, man. Let's keep it fucking real. And now he's leaving the Miami Heat after multiple suspensions, all preceded by a serial news conference in which he pronounced he no longer had joy for the game of basketball and didn't believe he could get it back in Miami. It makes no sense. They're paying this guy a tremendous amount of money, like a lot of money. And the Heat are not a bad team. No, they're not a great team. No, I don't see them winning a championship. But any team that he gets traded to is not going to compete for a championship, like, unless he got traded to one of the top echelon teams, like maybe Denver or Oklahoma City or Cleveland, and you're not getting traded there. They don't need you. You get what I'm saying? So he gets traded to a Warriors team that's struggling. Like I said, only teams that are really going through it are going to trade for this guy. Only teams that really need the help are going to trade for him. Not no top echelon of teams. It's not going to happen, man. The Heat first reacted by suspending Jimmy Butler for 7 games. A grievance from the National Basketball Players Association is still pending and announcing they would look into trading him. Butler was then suspended for 2 games after he missed a team flight on the day that he was set to return from that suspension. Butler stormed out of a team practice after learning he wouldn't be in the starting lineup. The Heat suspended him indefinitely and said he would be out right up until the trade deadline at minimum. I mean, even if you're not starting, man, you're getting paid so much money. You got to be a professional at the end of the day, man. That's just how I feel about it, y'all. Like, you got to take the high road, man. You're not going to be there forever. So just play out this year or your contract, and then you could go somewhere where a team is going to need you to start. Come in and be a defensive presence, an offensive presence, all those good things you want. But you pouting and all this weird shit is just not a good look, if you ask me. Not from a player that's getting $50 million a year. And the Warriors, they really taking a gamble with this man. Like, this dude is an older player. He's 35 years old, and you're giving him a 2-year, $121 million contract. This boy's getting paid more than LeBron and shit. Like, what are we doing? The Warriors take a gamble that Jimmy Butler will upgrade aging rotation. After half a season that felt like a losing battle against Father Time, the Warriors responded by adding a 35-year-old 3 years removed from his last All-Star nod. The Warriors currently sit at 25-24 and were in major need of an upgrade if their objective remains squeezing out what they can out of the remainder of Stephen Curry's career. To do so, they parted with 2 players in their top 4 in minutes per game this season, Wiggins and Schroeder, their ass, and one of their top offseason acquisitions in Anderson. So yeah, they had to get rid of some players to get Jimmy in, you know what I'm saying? And I just don't get it, man. Now Curry, Butler, and Draymond all 34 years old. Now this is an old team. You trading away young pieces to get this guy, and he's not going to be happy next year or the year after that. You know it's going to go awry soon, fucking with a player like him. So it truly doesn't make sense to me, man. Like, Jimmy Butler, he's a clown. All of the recent Butler drama came after the erosion of his relationship with the team's front office and most notably team president Pat Riley. The tension began to leak after the Heat were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs against the Boston Celtics last season. Butler missed the entire series with a knee injury, then implied the team would still be playing if he were healthy. That was after Riley announced the team wouldn't extend Butler's contract beyond this season. More recently, there was a report on Christmas Day that Butler would prefer a trade from the Miami Heat before the deadline in February. So y'all see his stats right here. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 30 minutes of action. So, like, come on, man. Like, these numbers are ass. I mean, they're good numbers for an average NBA player, but for Jimmy Butler, these are not great numbers, man. They're not. And for you to be acting like that, like you the shit, It truly makes no sense to me, dog. Like, you gotta be more professional than that. You gotta stop wearing pink and light green fucking braids and get your bitch ass on the court and play. Like, this shit is weak. It's super weak. But I know Pat Riley, he don't deal with the bullshit. So he ended up getting rid of him, getting Jimmy Butler up out of there, and getting some pieces in that's gonna come and play hard. And I can't blame him for that, truly. And Jimmy Butler, you a clown, dog. Straight up. And I wouldn't be surprised in a year or less than that, Jimmy Butler is going to run out of Golden State. So they're taking a huge risk with him. So we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this trade. Who won this trade? Do you think the Warriors won this trade? Or do you think the Miami Heat won this trade? They finally got rid of this weirdo Jimmy Butler. The saga is over. We won't have to hear about it anymore. And I know they couldn't get KD, but I guess they got Jimmy, and they're gonna see how they could rock with that. So let me know what y'all think. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff for the algorithm, man. It's your boy Trey Mace with Famous Mason Sports, and we out, man. Peace.